Hi, everybody. My name is Aaron Shane. Thank you for joining me today for this Habitat Now. I have the honor of being joined by artist Shelley Muzylowski Allen from Seattle. And she has got up out of bed in Seattle, where it's very early, the crack of 10, to join us to talk about her new Habatat Limited that we're honored to have. And it's actually on our website now, available for purchase. And it's been a long time coming. We've been talking about this project for 2 years, and I'm eager to get into it. So let me just start taking over your screen and get through some of our formalities here, talking about our upcoming international, which you're all still invited to, which is in late April. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've decided to not do the Habitat Home this year and schedule that for a future idea. And we added a home tour. We're going to be visiting a client's home in Ohio on the way to the Toledo Museum. So make sure you take part. There's some incredible works that have arrived to the gallery that are going to knock your socks off, guaranteed. And I'm looking forward to doing a physical tour with people in the gallery. If you can make it during the VIP weekend, great. If not, come visit me afterwards. I'll be happy to walk you around. We're updating our website, so you'll be able to see all the artwork online as well via pictures on our artist pages. And if you're interested in anything, just call me anytime, which is called our Habatat Direct, which is what we did during the first year of the pandemic. And hopefully we'll keep it going as time goes by for those who can't make it in. We're going to be visiting the JCC, the Jewish Community Center, and the Janice Cherach Gallery. They have a bunch of artists that are local, and I walked through the show personally. And it's an incredible exhibition of artists in the area. And we gave away awards. We provided $1,000 in awards to three people who won in our perspective. I think the museum, the gallery provided that as well. And it's a great place to come see some really innovative work. And some artists like Albert Young and Herb Babcock are in there, as well as many artists you may or may not know. The Masterworks auction is online. You can see it on liveauctioneers.com. It's on the front page of our website. Lots of fun treasures up there. If you have any questions or want to place bids, you know where I am. So without a further ado, thank you, Shelley, for being here. And I found this great photo of you, which you're looking at the horns, making sure they're right, which is a lot of fun. And so we're going to show this quick 5-minute video of you talking about your work, giving people a grounding about you. And it's focused primarily about our event in Sarasota. So you'll be able to kind of get an idea of how that event went. But there's a lot of content in here about Shelley, which is great. It looks like I got to turn the volume on.
Habitat Galleries is amazing that they bring these events into communities where people may not have the need or the desire to travel elsewhere. A lot of people don't like to go into galleries or museums because they find them a bit intimidating, but having a pop-up in a location in their neighborhood just brings the art right to them. I'm Shelley Muzylowski Allen, and my whole life I've worked as an artist. I've been working specifically with hot glass for the past 30 years. I believe everybody should have an experience with glass at some point in their life because it is just so enlightening, it's so transcendent. I've been honored to work with Habitat for, I believe it's just over 15 years. I feel like I'm with family when I'm showing with them. They asked me to do a demonstration for their Glass Coast weekend, and I'm so grateful for that. I believe these shows and the demonstrations are really integral to the education of the community too on how glass is made, because when you look at it, you have no idea of how it actually got to be in this finished state on the pedestal, unless you've been exposed to it. So the fact of doing a demo, people can watch right from the gathering of the molten glass to a finished piece being made, and then they go to the show and they can see finished pieces presented on a pedestal and lit beautifully. So the whole appreciation and understanding of the material, maybe more of the history of the material is evident to them. And I believe that's so important for your experience of viewing something if you have that much more understanding about it. When I was working as a painter, it was a very isolating experience, and there was no sharing of information. And when I started working with glass, it was absolutely the opposite. People are so generous with their information, and we want to work with each other and help each other grow. And there's no selfishness or this kind of competitive nature with glass. The demonstration happened at the Ringling College of Art and Design, and I was really fortunate to have some of the students hop up and help me. They were shielding, they were doing doors. And as a student, to be able to have exposure of visiting artists come in and work, and to be able to be there right with them. And the way that a lot of people learn, and myself included, was to work as an assistant with other sculptors that you admired. And you work and you learn, and some people come in with no experience, some have, a few years. So you have a varied level of skills working on your team, and gradually that person will move up to handling the pipe and the one that's doing the doors. So it's this really kind of wonderful, almost like an apprenticeship, that you can acquire all the skills right there on the job. It varies worldwide how people handle glass in the hot shop, but we all know like kind of the basic rules. We know how glass works, so we have this kind of basic language that is unspoken. So when I was doing the demo here, the fellows that I had worked with, they had plenty of experience. So I really barely had to talk to them, and we had just met that day. I would not be able to make my work without these people, because I need at least, with any given piece, I need from 4 to 10 hands in able to actually make it. I have somebody moving the pipe, somebody's opening the door, somebody's handling the torch. We have to keep that piece at an even heat throughout the whole process, or something will crack and break off. Another wonderful thing about coming to these exhibitions is that I get to meet and become part of the artistic community of the artists that Habatat represents. A lot of these people I had only seen photos of, and really loved their work, but never had the opportunity to speak with them. And now a lot of them were my very good friends. Among them was Martin Planck. To have him jump in on the demo the other day was just, what a great surprise. And just, he brings his exuberance and his energy everywhere he goes. So I feel really grateful to have had that moment, and his passion, his generosity, his kindness. He's got such a huge heart, and I'm so grateful for that. So the teammanship, the collaboration of working with people in the hot shop is really one of the best things about working in the material, the making of it. I hope that, that few hours help to, kind of get their energy up and their inspiration, and know that there are no limits. You're only limited by your own imagination.
How fun is that? What a great piece.
That's super fun, yeah. Well, I don't need to say anything more, right?
Right. I'll see you later, everybody. That's great. Good seeing you. Well, that gives you a little background. If those you don't know Shelley, but I'm sure many of you do. So I'm glad that we had that great video. So your new Habatat Limited. Let me see what my next slide looks like before I start spoiling things. Let's see what this is. Oh, no. So we're going to go through a little bit of Shelley's work. As many of you know, we had an exhibition here at the gallery in Sarasota of Shelley's work during a solo exhibition during our event down there. And before we get into the formalities of it, we can kind of see some of the masterpieces that are available through the gallery on a whole different level than this limited, but it's just a crazy powerful work, and it just shows the years of talent and experience she's acquired to get to this level. And every time I see a piece by her, I'm always blown away. And it's all inspired by her life experiences, and obviously we'll learn more from her dreams. But these works are just such beautiful, powerful pieces, and it's such an honor to have her in our family and in the gallery. I had the opportunity to set up this piece personally. Every blade of grass has an exact piece placement, and it takes a little bit of time, and there's certain rules I got to follow, but it's a lot of fun once it's fully up. This is a great piece. This is on Shelley's website, her swan. All those drips hang individually around the creature, and you see its reflection in the water almost right here below it, and it's freestanding and it's stunning. This is the only available left piece of this body of work. There were 3 of them, and 2 of them sold, and this one's still at the gallery. Here's something fun. So Shelley's part of our show called The 12 Jars Path of Life, and you're getting an early preview of her piece here. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about the piece, Shelley, because you gave me a little story yesterday.
Yeah, this vessel is part of a series that I did called the Net Spots, in which my efforts with this work was to discard color. That's why they're all in black. This actually has a scavoed surface on it. So it kind of makes it a little bit more textural. But I wanted to bring attention, as the Japanese Netsuke do, to the environment directly around me. Give reverence to the small creatures, the ones you might not normally pay attention to. So this is an otter pot. I call it catch. There are fish hanging. They're tied on with leather, and there's a spot missing where the otter has one that he's caught. It's quite a large, it's actually right here behind me. It's quite a large vessel. I had to make the vessels during a residency at the Museum of Glass because they were just too large for me to do here in my own shop. So with their team, their expert team, I was able to make this piece of work. And all the tying is something that I did after the fact, the tying and the hanging of the fish. But I've kept it here. It's actually been in my own personal archive because I really love it. But this is a super special show, so I'm releasing it for it. And I hope you guys really enjoy it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it in person. It's nice. It's an impressive piece, and it's different from what you normally see, but it does throw it back to the Netsuke pots you've made in the past. And
Yes.
I'm honored to have it in the Path of Life 12 Jars show, which should be a lot of fun, which is now down to 9 jars, by the way. We've had some people back out, but it will still be an incredible experience. So this kind of throws us back in, I think, 2016, we had Shelley do kind of an edition for us for Sofa. And it was a lot of fun, and it had a lot of interest from the people who attended the show, and the price points were really well. So I found those photos, and these were kind of like, I guess, for lack of a better term, a cup. Shelley, is that what they were?
Yeah, they were animal cups. They're the size of cups. You could pour a good, espresso shot or shot of anything in there and drink from it. And the horns were specifically to be used as handles.
Yeah, so we had these out, and I think we sold them all, but it was just a fun experiment. This was really the first experiment we dealt with this kind of thing, and it kind of led and grew into what we're doing today with the limited. So without further ado, we'll do some drum roll to show what's going on. And I think I might have a video here of, I have a small teaser screen too of the Rhino up close. This piece that's available is called the Rhino Tram, which is the first. And we have multiple pictures of it because it kind of looks different in different shades of light, which makes a lot of sense for glass, because you can see it lit one place versus another. And you can tell us a little bit about this photo. These are kind of the process shots.
Yeah,
right?
yes. Because all of these pieces are hand engraved, I partially sculpt out the glass and bring it back down to room temperature. And then I use a diamond bit to engrave the pattern on it. And then I put it back in the annealer, bring it up to 1100 degrees and pick it back up on the blowpipe and finish making it. I started doing it this way because I want to be really specific on where the engraving lands on the piece. I've carved away areas even around the eyes. You can see that the eyes are partially pulled out. Right at this point, it could become many different animals, but it's the fine details I do after the engraving that, make it a rhinoceros. But yeah, this is a process that I do with a lot of my work, and it takes multiple days to do this, but I really think it's worth it as far as my own kind of, putting more investment in the piece of time and imagery, and I just love doing it. So I continue to.
That's great. I love the fact that, it's kind of a blank where you can go anywhere from here. almost anywhere, which is kind of fun. And you get to see like each piece is made uniquely. There's no like process of pumping these out. She has to spend days getting them created and making them all unique. And you'll see that they vary in size slightly. We have a generalized height and width and depth for them, but since she's doing them hot and in a blowpipe, you know, you're going to get a unique piece. So we have a short video here, if I get it to play, of her a process shot of making one with in the process. So I'll play this. I'm not sure if there's any audio. Got a little bit of audio, so you can kind of see the limited piece on the end of a blowpipe while it's still, you know, a couple thousand degrees before it gets into the cold working section. You can see too the engraving work she's done on it. Will you tell us a little bit about that, Shelley?
The engraving on these specific pieces are they're images from my childhood. I'm of Ukrainian heritage. My grandmother and my great grandmother are immigrants we lived in northern Manitoba. We used to visit each other a couple times a year, and during this time we would sit together at the kitchen table, all of the women of the family, maybe some aunts and were visiting, and my sisters and my mother, and we would do crafts together. We would use the Ukrainian patterning and make the kasenki, which are the Ukrainian dyed Easter eggs. We would embroider, we would crochet. It was a really, really, really special time to me. And with these pieces, I just really wanted to bring these images to the forefront, these symbols. On one side of the rhino is the sunflower, which symbolizes peace. And it's a national flower. And on the other side is a sheath of wheat, which represents good health, which I know we all really we don't take for granted anymore, and as well as prosperity, a good harvest. And they've got golden and yellow interiors. And this, I just wanted to bring sunlight. I wanted to bring, it's spring. It's a time of celebration, that everything's waking up again and coming to life, blooming. So this is why I've got these color choices. I wanted them to really glow from the inside.
So you mentioned the color choice. There was an option when you order these. What's that option?
Yeah, the option is, the one you see here is a golden topaz, transparent interior, and then they'll both have the same exterior of this kind of celadon blue-green, speckled, crackled exterior. But the interior, I have either the opaque yellow, which was in the first slides, which I think Aaron can probably go back to.
These ones? No, this looks gold.
Yeah, that's the gold. Yeah,
it's gold too. Well, we'll kick over to the final picture right now.
Yeah, there. That's the yellow interior, and I wanted to offer both because they both have a very different feel. The yellow is just, it's bursting from the inside with yellow and color, and the other one is just a little bit more subdued, a little bit more contrast. So you might see the pattern a little more because the golden color is a little bit deeper. But the exteriors will be similar. They'll vary because I hand apply everything. And also the engravings it's all handmade. So there'll be a bit of variation, but I would like to offer that choice to people.
Gold or yellow for the style. And then can you tell us a little about your childhood dream?
Oh, so when I was, actually I wasn't a child.
Your adult dream.
I actually just one morning woke up and I had this small elephant stuck in my head. I don't know if that ever happens to any of you, but it often happens to me where I'll just have this image stuck in my head and I cannot get rid of it until I make it. So I made this little elephant out of glass, and that actually is what started this whole series, which this Rhino Tram series has arisen from also. I was pretty fascinated though, because I kept thinking, why am I having this little animal like stuck, that's, you know, normally an enormous animal stuck in my thoughts. And so I did research it. And the first images that came up were the chess sets from King Charlemagne, 11th century. And they are just exquisite, just compelling pieces. And in this chess set, the elephants are actually the bishops. And I guess I did more research and I guess that's how the chess sets evolved, that at one point the bishops were elephants. And anyway, I just found that was just pretty fascinating. So I continued making the series because they're just so enjoyable to make, and they really bring me joy. And I don't know, I smile when I think of, or when I'm looking at the expression, and I'm really hoping that it'll bring joy to you all too.
Yes, I completely agree. They're very, very, very joyous pieces and very light and very fun. And I like the fact that you have that kind of toy feeling to them. Corey asked me if they had a string attached. They do not, but you can always add one.
I actually, if I could take a consensus and I could put a tiny ring there and tie a tie. That was just one thing. I was still kind of on the fence on whether I should add that or not, but I think it would be.
We'll make it a collaboration. If you guys want a string, you figure one out, put it on there. Send me a photo. I'd love to see what you choose.
And then of course I would put a really colorful string from it too, so it would add to the coloration of the piece. One thing I do want to say is the wheels do not move, and that was a choice because I did originally make a piece with moving wheels, and it ended up coming back to me with a broken face, so broken horns. And
smart move. So they did not move. They cannot drag them across the floor. You can enjoy them, and you can hold them.
You can hold them. I have one here if you wanted to.
Yeah, please bring it. I'll pin you up if I can. I don't know if I can do that or not. I'll try to spotlight you. Pick it up. Go ahead.
Oh, there is a question that came up, and the cart is made of steel.
Aha.
Yeah.
So why don't we finish this little talk thing, and I'll maximize your screen, and you can pull the one up you have in your hands. That would be a good idea. So breaking down the details for the this edition, which is available now on habatat.com/limited. There's 20 available. We have priced them really efficient. She has made similar works in the past, as she has mentioned. Shelley's mentioned that were more expensive, and we want to get this exciting series rolling out strong. And so we priced them at $2,900 each plus shipping. I haven't talked to Shelley about shipping too much, so I'll work on that. But they come in a wooden hinge box, and there's a special surprise in there as well, which I guess Shelley can tell us about in a second, that comes with it. And they're exclusively available through us at the gallery. You can buy them online with a credit card. You can call me on the phone, and they're made to first come, first served. And you'll get an idea when they're going to be ready. We'll kind of work with you to tell you along with Shelley's schedule, because they're made one at a time, or maybe two at a time. So like Shelley mentioned, there's more to come. There's going to be some others available in this series. So maybe if you like one, you collect them all, but I'm looking forward to seeing what else she creates. So let me kick out of this slideshow, and I will maximize, and I will pin you so we can be spotlighted. Go ahead. Okay, now let's see what you have nearby.
Thank you, Aaron, too, for everything you've said. So I have, and the Rhino will be fixed to the base also. Actually, let me turn the light here so that we can highlight it a little bit. Yeah, that's better. So that's just with my simple floor lamp hitting it, and you can see how it ignites the interior. These will be fixed in a permanent way, so there's no question about them falling over. This is the yellow. Yeah.
I love it. I love the way it like overpowers the base of it too. It's like barely dancing on top.
Even though they're very tiny, I really want the idea of the weight and the size of these animals, and that's the goal.
They're both beautiful. Very beautiful.
Yeah. And
Very
so,
nice.
and then of course it has the other side too, which will, and each one will have the two symbols on there, and you can see how it glows. The photos that I sent to Erin were just with natural light. I just had them in front of my window, so just the daylight ignited them like this. So, and you can see there's a crackle surface, and I've used a deeper blue for the shadows.
Very nice. Incredible. It's such a great job. Very honored to have him in our exhibition and part of the show. And thank you for joining us today. And I'll look and see if anybody has any other questions on our thing that you pretty much answered already. But like I said, they'll be available on our website. Let me unpin you if I can figure out how to do that. And moral of the story is, if you have any questions, or for me or for Shelley, we're both available for you to take a look at and discuss these at any time. I'm really, really excited about finally getting this together. I'm looking forward to seeing these in person too. Someday we'll have one or two in the gallery so people can come see them with us. And there, like I said, this is an opportunity to get something as a gift, or maybe you have a specific idea in mind or a place, especially if you have room for a couple more. They may grow and you may have to feed them and give them some water, but they're worth it. They'll give you lots of love, I promise. So thank you again for joining me. And like I said, if you have any other questions, or if you'd like to order one, I'd love to put Shelley in touch with you, because she will do that. It's part of this whole process of Limited, is you got to have some time and experience learning this, going along with the artist, and she keeps you updated as well as I. So they are, again, posted on the Limited website. And if you have any questions, let's talk soon. All right. Thank you, Shelley, for being here. It's an honor to have you. Thank you, everybody, for joining me.
It was wonderful to see you, and I appreciate this time and the time that you've taken today to spend on this. So
great to have you. This will be posted up on YouTube for those who missed it. And if you have any friends or family that would love to see this, I'd love to share it as we expand what we all know and love. Be well, everybody. Have a great weekend, and I will see you hopefully here soon.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Wonderful.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.